Hello, this is Mike from TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your 2024 Jayfeather Micro 199 MBS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when you're parking. On your campsite, I want you to leave plenty of room for that awning to come out. Over here on your off campsite, besides leaving room for your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power, and plug in on the rear corner here. Then your water just behind your slides, so just think above your tire. So park accordingly so you can utilize facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing we're going to do is level our unit. Your unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light, should you arrive at night, simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now should you lose power, underneath this rubber stopper right here, this hand crank will fit on there and get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit have these new stabilizing jacks. Just wanted to show you, after you crank it down a ways, you got a 3/4 inch hand crank that'll come down. You can use a drill gun. Impact driver could be a little too strong, but once you run these down to a certain point, you can go ahead and pop this up and push this down instead of continuing to crank, because you only want to bring these down, get that locked in there, just until they're taut. Remember, once you've got some resistance on your hand crank, stop. A unit's already level. All we're trying to do at this point is stabilize it. Get all four of those down, got your unit level and stable, we can hook up your power and water. So again, all the way on the off campsite rear corner is going to be where your power plugs in. Big long, I think it's a 30-foot 30-amp cord. So these plug in with a little pistol grip here. Let me show you that. Put it off to the left at say 11 o'clock, then turn it to noon to lock it in. Got a lock washer here. Should you need to plug into a 110 at the end of this, in the convenience pack would be a 30 to 15 amp reducer to plug that in. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. At campsites, we're going to hook up to city water connection. You're going to want to grab a water pressure regulator. It's going to reduce the pressure to 40 to 50 psi, like this one here. Protect the lines of the unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. And you can go ahead and turn your hose on. Now we're going to go inside and open up our slide. The main reason we're going to open up our slide, we're going to want to get in here and open up our water lines. Let's just get that out of our way. Actually, you don't need to, but you can do it eventually. So open up your water lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, get all the air out of the lines in here, in the shower, in the bathroom. Then you're all set for city water. Now if you're going to go dry camping, boondocking, you're going to fill up your freshwater tank. Down your campsite above the tire here. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can fill this, gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right there. Or two, on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that when you're filling that up. Once it's full, remove that hose, put your cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water. That's already pressurized. Alright, we got power and water. Let me go ahead and walk you around the rest of the unit. Starting back up here in the front with your propane. It does come with a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using. Lefty loosey to open these. There's a cover for those. Your battery here, again, check your battery posts every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose. Come around to your off camp side. Coming up in the storage is your battery disconnect. That will come in important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide and propane detector. On your slides, on your wiper seals here, they do have a fluid that you can spray on these. Pick it up from our store. That'll keep them nice and pliable. That adds to the longevity of the life of your trailer here, especially the slides. Magnetic open for more storage here. Your low point train. That'll be easier accessible once the slide is closed. Back over here above our city water is going to be your black tank flush. We'll talk about that when we dump our black and gray tanks. Behind your power is going to be where you plug in your cable at your campsite. Got a cover for your spare tire that really helps to keep them from dry rotting, so keep that on there. Your low point drains are right back here in this back corner. You are prepped for a Furrion backup camera. It's a device you can purchase from our store. One part attaches onto here, the other part sits on the dash of your tow vehicle, giving you a backup camera for the unit. You got a ladder, utilize it. Go up there a couple times a year, check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. Over here is your hot water heater. Main controls for this are inside, but I just want to show you here. This door will lean back. Here's where you turn it on. Usually kept on max on those. There's a pressure release valve down there. When you empty that, it is a black button that just screws with a flathead screwdriver to the left to loosen that up. Drain that out in the winter. Quick connect hose right there. Quick connect power port 110. Your J port. See how that goes. Big metal piece here. L part up. Here's your quick connect LP for this. And this part flips over, sets on that. Quick connect LP hose in here in your griddle. Griddle sets on there. Connect your hose right there. You're all set up for an outdoor kitchen. There's your fridge for that. That is magnetic as well. Coming on our campsite, we got a couple of marine grade outdoor speakers. There's a hood vent for your stove. Again, your fresh water. Cable hookup if you want to hook up a TV out here with a couple of 110s. Here's a mount for a television. It's a flue for your furnace. A couple things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. We also sell bug guards that go over those. A little light for your porch in case you can't see that when you're coming in. And lastly, your front storage over here. These are switches for your docking lights. That covers everything out here. Let's go up inside. First thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway in case of an emergency. A couple of 110s above that. And then our power control panel. I've got a banner tied to this awning right now. I just want to tell you, when you run your awning out and extend that out, you only want to run it out until your flap falls down to 90 degrees and you can see the bar. It's as far as you want to run that out. If you run it out further than that, if you hold that button down, extend, it'll actually run itself up onto itself or start to run itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Don't run it out further than you need to. They're really shade awnings. They can be left out in a light rain. Recommended to bring in rain and heavy storms. Or heavy winds especially. So up here is where you check the level of your battery. There's a button I said to hold for your fresh water. Black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump when utilizing that fresh water tank. Your living room lighting. Your awning lighting. Slide. It's already extended. I utilize that when we bring it back in. And then we just run over the awning. Up here is your hot water heater. Once it's full of water, you turn on your power here and turn it up to the temperature that you want it to. Coming into our kitchen, we've got a self-explanatory microwave. You can pull that out of there. Start that. Where do you start? Oh, there it is. Below that, a fan and light for your cooktop. This glass top makes an excellent backsplash. Just fold it back like so. Turn on your panel lights. Turn this to light. Hit your spark when your gas is full. That's how you light that. All three burners are right there. Down below that, it's going to be your breaker box and fuses. Handful of 15s. I see a 20 and a 40. 30 and a 40, excuse me. Highly recommend having some of those with you when you go out camping. Everchill fridge, all controlled from inside right there. And your freezer and your fridge controls are right there. Little manual for that. Double full bunks. This part of the bunk will fold up. You see this latch here? Fold this all the way up. Your mattress out of the way and 2 hands. This will latch on that and hold that up for storage here. Come in our bathroom. You want to mention that you have a hand crank open. Oops. Power exhaust vent. 110 with GFCI reset. A little plumbing to maintain. Back behind these access panels is your plumbing. Almost all PEX nowadays. Just keep an eye on it. If you travel a lot in this trailer and you're bouncing the house up and down the road, things can get loose. Access to the bottom of your shower head there. Go Power solar controller. The only concern on this is making sure that you're on the correct battery, which will be wet, and making sure that that's it. I'll send you a separate video from Go Power on this, but you don't have to maintain much on it. The whole purpose of this is to keep your solar panels from overcharging your battery. To seeing your batteries at 13.6, 13.8 on a 12 volt battery is not a surprise. Turn on our power here, our thermostat. Get that down there. I'll shut that off. You'll notice that's going to take a couple minutes before that shuts off. The fan just takes a few minutes to cycle through. Charging ports. This is your propane carbon monoxide detector. That is always running off your battery. That's 12 volt. So if you are out dry camping and you're going to be gone for the day, use your battery disconnect up front to keep this from running your battery down. Your table will remove away from here. Fold it down. Put it on these plastic lips here. Put your back cushions on top. Gives you another sleeping quarters. Emergency exit window there. Seating. Television. That is on a big swivel, which can be released by, I think it's just magnetic on this one. Yep, just magnetic. So get back behind and give it a good pull. Speaking of your television, back here where your cable plugs in is a little green light. That is your digital channel enhancer, or another word for, or several words for, your antenna. So when you arrive at the campsites, run a digital channel scan with your air antenna. Make sure that green light's on. That'll allow you to pick up all the local channels. Show you quickly how to turn this into turn your sofa, which also has a table underneath. Can be removed. How to turn the sofa into a bed. Pull this down underneath here. Undo there. And bring your mattress forward. Couldn't have been any simpler. You have individual lighting up here. Hold your top back in. Bring it back to your mattress. Back of the sofa up here. That locks in. Just that quickly, we're back to a sofa. Alright, so that about covers everything on the inside. It's act like we're leaving the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start by going through and making sure my vents are closed. And while I thought about vents, I thought about the fact that I haven't showed you your AC working. That all works from here. You close the quick dump. Colder. And several speeds. 7 speeds. Alright, so I like to come over here and show off my lights. Then I can look around and see all the lights that are individual that I have to walk through and shut off by hand. Make sure we went into our bathroom, closed our vent, bring down our glass top here, Batten down the hatches on any food, anything in the cupboards that you don't want bouncing around going down the road. Just secure everything. Just be smart. Come back in here, turn on my living room lights. Come to slide and hit retract. Now we do want to make sure that our table's up and that nothing's going to impede the slide from coming in. Nothing's going to be in its way. Of course, your bed will have to be up. You're going to hear a little noise at the end. Just the slide mechanism. That one didn't do it. So stop, shut off my interior lights, and exit the unit. On these steps, the biggest thing, bringing them up or down, is make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise, this piece here will clip on it. And then we do have adjustable feet simply by pulling on these cotters and moving it to the hole we want it on. Great if you're on unlevel ground. Before you leave the dump station, lock and deadbolt this door, lift and turn this handle. That's how you want that to travel. You don't want that door coming open as you're traveling. Alright, if we are out dry camping, we're going to bring up our stabilizing jacks. Come over to my off camp side, pull that white handle and dump that fresh water tank. Hook up a hitch and head on home or to the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we'll unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, hook up our hitch, and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's going to be right behind your tires on your off-camp side. You got 10-foot hose, comes your convenience pack. Park, hook that up, and pull your black holding tank. Your handle right here on the right. Once it sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, look at the level of your black tank. If it shows empty or pretty close to it, leave that open, come back out here, grab the hose at the dump station, and hook it up to this tank flush valve. No need for a water pressure regulator here, just hook that up, turn that on, and then let that run for a good 5 minutes. That's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. The guy behind you can wait 5 minutes. When that's done, remove that hose, make sure all that washout water you just put in there has drained, then close that black handle and pull your gray. While my grays are draining, I like to get back here, dump my low point drains. Again, if we're done camping for the season, go to your hot water heater. Don't want to leave stagnant water in here. This will lift right up off here. Get behind this little access panel here. See that little black knob there behind your wires. You can see it there. Screw that to open up and drain the water out of your hot water heater. Of course, you'll bypass it for winter, and etc., etc. Once all those low point drains have drained and your gray is done, check the levels of your gray inside. Shows empty. Come back out here, close that gray, unhook that sewage hose, and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in what we like to call our stinky slinky holder. Great spot for a sewage tank, sewage holder, or hose, excuse me. And head on home. Thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Jayfeather for many years to come. Happy camping.